Venice is beautiful, but Padua is its sister. This is the translation of Italian saying Venezia è bella, ma Padova è sua sorella. Did you hear the rhyme there?
This is Italy by Italians. In our videos, we take you around Italy. Subscribe to our channel. Here, I'll show you our 2-day trip to Padua, a city 1 hour away from Venice.
We are in the market area that is composed of one palace and 2 main squares of the city. This historical palace, it's called Palazzo della Ragione, and if on the underground level it has always been dedicated to the market, on the upper level, in the Middle Age, it was an administrative and justice palace. Life is easy today. Our grandmothers didn't prepare tagliatelle like this. It's closed because it's Monday, it's closed every Monday. Well, if you have a chance, on the upper level there is the ancient room that they used. It's 80 meters long. This is the amazing room I was telling you about. It's full of frescoes. I'm walking in the historical center, and here we can see small alleys and high houses. Well, this was the Jewish ghetto in the 16th and 17th century. Okay, for lunch I'm trying and tasting the typical pasta of Padua that is called piccoli. It's a handmade pasta, of course, kind of thick big spaghetti. Ah yes, my favorite Italian dessert, tiramisu, is from Veneto region, the region Padua is in. Aspetta, I love it.
Grazie mille, ciao. Ciao.
Okay, lunch finished. I drank the alcoholic thing called grappa, but it's very common in Padua and in Veneto region. And it's really too much. So we're going to discover the second largest square in Europe. Follow me. Isn't it cool? There is a canal running all around the square, and there are 78 statues representing important people for the history of Padua, and it's so huge. It seems that seagulls in Padua abide to some kind of rules. Each one has to stay on a different statue. You may know this guy, Mr. Galileo Galilei. You see he's looking up at the sky. Well, because he's the one who told the world that it's the Earth that rotates around the sun and not the contrary. So he's considered the father of modern science. He's linked to the city of Padua because he was professor of mathematics at the University of Padua. The University of Padua is one of the oldest in the world. It was founded in 1222. The seagulls are pretty angry, and we will visit the university later because it's really nice. But right now, let's go and take a very special coffee that you can taste all here in Padua. This is the historical cafe of Padua, Caffé Pedrocchi, that was opened in 1831, and a curiosity about it is that it was open 24 hours a day until 1916, so a long time before our modern concept of 24 hours was invented. Inside, I'm gonna try its specialty, that is coffee with mint, called Caffé Pedrocchi. So here we go, I'm gonna taste it. I'm a huge fan of espresso. I don't like changes in my espresso, so let's see. It's super creamy because it's mint cream. It's actually delicious, I have to say.
bacione, via, salute,
Okay, I just got the ticket, so I'll start now the guided tour of the university, and I will show you why it can be a nice visit. By the way, I just want to add, in this university, the first woman graduated. So the first woman in the world, her name was Lucrezia Piscopia. It was 1678. So women, it all started here at the University of Padua. Professor Galileo Galilei held his classes here because this was the biggest classroom in the university, and his courses were followed by many students. Now we will see his desk that was here, and they moved it to another room, his original desk. There it is.
During the university tour, you will go through this door. The Latin inscription says, "This is the place where death is proud of being helpful to life." Why? This is the anatomy classroom, the first anatomical theater in the world, which later was took as a model for all the other anatomical theaters built all around Europe. These sections happened at the bottom of the theater, and thanks to its architecture, students could see and learn about the human body.
Now, last stop of the day, another important landmark of Padua. That's a lovely sunset. Here we are, to the most famous church of Padua, the Basilica of St. Anthony. St. Anthony is a super important saint for the Catholic religion because many miracles are attributed to him. And so his name is linked to the city of Padua because he moved here and he died here, and his remains are in this very church. The interior of the church is amazing. It's full of frescoes and paintings, so I encourage you to visit it. The entrance is free. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the inside because it's forbidden to record. Finally, after a long day of traveling, it's my favorite part of the day. It's aperitivo time. Aperitivo is a sort of pre-dinner. You eat something to just open your stomach for dinner. But not in Padua. Here it's a more traditional thing, it's a serious thing, and think that here it's where they invented Spritz. Another round of cicchetti in another place.
La mia birra che non ho bevuto.
Buongiorno Padova! To start the day, I need to find a good pasticceria. Today we'll visit Villa Pisani, the most beautiful villa in Veneto. It's actually more like a royal palace. And then we'll visit the top attraction of Padua, Scrovegni Chapel. We have our tour booked at 2 p.m. Wow! This impressive villa was built in the 18th century for the Pisani family, a rich family from Venice. But 1 century later, when Napoleon conquered this part of Italy, the villa passed in Napoleon's hands. Finally, the last owner of the villa was the Habsburgic Empire of Austria, because they also conquered this part of Italy. Her eyes are a bit scary. Napoleon slept here when he conquered the villa for 2 days. You can see the N on top of his bed. Napoléon, Empereur de France, Roi d'Italie. In just half an hour, the fog has completely concealed the house that we saw on the opposite side, and it's very normal here. The garden is huge. You cannot actually call it a garden, it's a park. And its style is a mix of traditional Italian garden and French Baroque. Nice thing to see here is a labyrinth, but unfortunately it's closed due to renovation works. This is the labyrinth. It was created as a sort of attraction to entertain guests. And I'm actually really sorry I cannot see it because it seems very cool.
very romantic. Perfect for a first kiss, actually. The tour is over. Even if Villa Pisani is 15 minutes by car from the city center of Padua, I would highly recommend you to visit it. And now, let's head back to the city center to see the Scrovegni chapel and some of Giotto's artworks. The chapel we're about to see is dedicated to Mr. Scrovegni, who was a loan shark in the 14th century, so of course his reputation was not very good. When he died, his son decided to build this chapel to redeem his soul. Well, he called to work on it one of the most important artists of the time, the revolutionary of his time, Giotto, who came to work here from Florence. Scrovegni tutto esaurito means sold out in Italian, and it's every day like this. So we're about to enter and visit what is considered the most important fresco cycle in the entire world. The visit will last 30 minutes. In the first 15 minutes, we are required to spend these 15 minutes in a room to stabilize our inside body temperatures so that we won't ruin these very old frescoes later. And then you have 15 minutes inside the chapel. The fresco cycle was completed in the 14th century and marked the beginning of a revolution. Giotto introduced perspective and gave life to its characters, with natural faces experiencing real emotion. The cycle tells us about the lives of the Virgin Mary and of Jesus.
The concept of hell in the Middle Age was really scary. So this was Padua. Did you like it? Well, if you come on a trip here, remember that Veneto region, apart from Padua and Venice, has so many other places to visit. So I'll leave you in the description below a link to all the other things you can visit in Veneto. See you in our next video.